Oh, some back pain. Hello, everybody. Hello. So, just, I did not go live this morning, you'll notice. Why? Why, Slightly, you fucking bitch? Why didn't you go live, buddy? Why didn't you do it? FIBA's not playing games, guys. 2 of my last 3 World Cup streams have just gotten clapped. Not copyright claimed. I can live with a copyright claim, whatever. Taken down. I don't even understand. What I did wrong on the last one. And okay, so the one I did last Friday where we talked about Australia, if you guys were in here, because, you know, it got deleted immediately, so if you didn't see it, you wouldn't know. But you guys were in here. You know, I showed some highlights of like Josh Green and Dante Exum. It got clapped. A 2-hour stream got completely taken off the internet because of a 10-second highlight clip. I went and I looked. I looked at what the dispute was. It was a 10-second clip. It didn't even take up the whole screen. Just took up a tiny portion of the screen. I'm talking over it, you know. They took the whole thing down. So, don't know what we're going to do because, like, Slovenia versus Australia, that's awesome. And I want to watch it and stream it. But I can't do it here. There's just no way. So maybe I'll have to look into it because I don't know if playback allows, like, ESPN Plus. I'll have to look into it. But that could be an option. Doing it on playback and then doing, like, a stream afterwards over here. If that makes sense. What up, everybody? Go outside and play with your Bionicles. Bionicles. Tomato, potato. Siley, were you at QT in Fort Worth recently? No, I've never set foot in Fort Worth, so that wasn't me. People trying to survive that good. Maybe you can't even show the scorecard on the broadcast. I guess I was actually thinking it was more so audio because it was not a manual claim, so it probably caught the audio. Either way, man, I'm not. Like, the NBA season's right around the corner. I can't have a strike going into it, so I'm not even fucking around with it. So we'll figure something out. Like, so I'm wondering, can I just do this? Like, you guys tweeted this. Can I look at this tweet on stream? Is that okay? People trying to survive that good quality broadcast, really not cheap. Yeah, you're not wrong. But that's whenever. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I've been a big advocate. I just love the broadcast of international basketball. I like the flow of the game and everything. It's just so much better. It's such a better viewing experience for so many different reasons. But you know, the broadcast, the mic'd up segments where, you know, the coaches are mic'd up during the huddles and they're screaming at their players. That's so cool. Hearing the refs talk about calls and how they're going to make a call, and hearing the players talk to the refs. That shit is so cool, man. Like, that's what every fan wants. But I do understand that cuts into precious advertisement time, and we got to hear the advertisement. Get the new Reese's. Get the pumpkin-shaped Reese's. Oh, Ozempic. Oh, everyone's on Ozempic. Everyone loves Ozempic, right? We have to have those commercials. God forbid we don't get the Ford Tough F-150 commercial. Would I rather hear Greg Popovich scream at Keldon Johnson in a timeout, or would I rather see Ford F-150 built tough? Definitely built tough. If I had to choose one. Just so lame. There's got to be some way that they could monetize it. There's got to be some way. Live right now, talking Luka, Slovenia, and other World Cup stuff. Mark Cuban comments on Pat Bev's podcast. World champion. This is already played out, but I've shared my opinion on the world champion stuff. I haven't been live since that whole debate's gone on. The way Bobby Corella did on reviewing games is on video, was muted, and watched the highlights, but it was done on Twitch, though. Was that for the World Cup, or... NBA does not seem to care, really. I did not catch the game live, no. I didn't wake up. Slovenia was like 20-something point favorites, and this game didn't really mean much, so I wasn't going to wake up for it. There was something else I wanted to talk about today. And more. Get in here. Obviously, built tough. It makes you feel like a real man. Ford 50. Ford F-250. Ford. Built Ford tough. Built Ford tough. I got such a gripe with those gigantic ass trucks, man. Are you coming directly from the ranch? No, of course you're not. You live in Dallas, Texas, okay? You don't need that. God, it makes me so mad. You don't need that gigantuan truck. Like if you guys live in an apartment complex, you know how nightmarish parking can be when half the people there have ginormous trucks. It's insane. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps me out tremendously, especially early on in the stream's life cycle. Let's see to know having a great time, of which we are. We will. We're going to... Miles is right about the World Championship. Pop said it like 2010. A lot of players don't seem to understand what World Champion means. This debate's hilarious to me because, man, I didn't realize how strongly people felt about it. It's one of those topics where, you know, if somebody feels strongly enough about it and is like, hey, man, like, no, this is the world like, this means world champion or this means world champion, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I don't care enough really to argue. But I guess, listen, here's my thing. We're just talking semantics, right? You were just talking semantics at the end of the day. In my opinion, the way I look at it, if it's the best league in the, like, NBA might be a rare case, maybe the NHL too. I don't know enough about hockey, but like NBA, where the basketball is such a global sport, there's so much great international talent, and all of the top tier talent is all together in one league competing against one another. At the end, whoever that winning team is, while they're not technically champions of the world, they are the best team in the world. Americans reacting so, okay, I have to say this, right? Listen, you guys know I'm not going to get on here and defend the United States of America hardly ever, okay? And yes, Americans can be very yeehaw about certain things. I will say, I feel like it's the non-Americans who are acting the most insane about this. That's just how I feel. Like, that's just how I feel, personally. There are some examples of players with the NBA level who don't play in the NBA. Yeah, no, there are definitely players who play in Europe, who play in China, who play, you know, in other foreign leagues that could 100% be in the NBA. But I'm saying the top tier talent, they're all in the NBA. There's not a top 100 player in the world outside of the NBA. There might not even be a top 200 player in the world outside of the NBA. No, because words have meaning. I get that, but it's just like, it's just dumb at that point. So what? So I can, you know, sometimes I go hoop. I got a buddy I hoop with who's Mexican. I got, you know, this other guy we used to play with was from Argentina. You know, we can get together. We can play 2v2. We can play a game, and I'll call it the World Championship. And I'm the world champion. Rondé Hollis Jefferson's not in the top 100, but he had an insane tournament. I guess still does, because even if you finish bottom 2 in your pool, you still play. You still play 2 more games. It doesn't matter. It's international. No, a club league. It's simple as that. Technically, the NBA is international. But I agree with you on that point. But I'm basically saying, you know, NFL is a different conversation to me because it's not a global sport. Nobody in the world outside of the United States gives a fuck about the NFL. Okay? So, like, you saying you're world champions or whatever, it's like, okay, but, like, no one else cares. Like, there's no global aspect to this game at all. But the NBA, incredibly global, one of the most global, I would say football is definitely the most global sport, right? But why does it matter that all the best players are in the NBA? Isn't it the NBA, the National Basketball League? Yeah, again, we're just arguing semantics. So for me, like, I don't have a problem. First and foremost, the NBA doesn't even use world champion. But I don't have a problem with Denver Nuggets fans calling themselves world champions. If the Mavericks won the NBA Finals, I'd be saying world champions. Because it sounds cooler, right? There's more validity to it. There's more weight to it. And guess what? Our best player is Slovenian. Our second best player is Australian. Our third best player is Australian. I see all angles. I'm just saying, for me, I don't have a problem calling. So, like, people were saying, oh, well, like, the UEFA Champions League. Sure, they can call themselves world champs. Like, if that's the best talent in the world competing against each other, call yourself world champs. I don't give a fuck. I don't care that they don't. That's not my problem. You can do it. I wouldn't care. I found out that the Toronto Raptors have a banner from 2019 with world champions on it. I'm pretty sure like all the Celtics banners say world champions on it too. Like, I don't think it's necessarily like the NBA itself doesn't do it. I don't think, but I think that individual teams definitely do. Americans keep saying NBA is global, but they don't take global competition seriously. So this is actually another point in my favor, I think, right? Because I would kind of get like, okay, well, you have the World Cup. These are the world champions. You have the Olympics. These are the world champions because it's an international competition. My problem is with that, the best players in the world clearly don't view that as the pinnacle of the sport. The best players in the world clearly don't view that as that's the ultimate goal right there, because they sit it out all the time. Jokic is not playing in the World Cup. Giannis is not playing in the World Cup. Steph Curry is not playing in the World Cup. You play in the NBA Finals. I don't know. It's a hilarious argument. I did not think an argument like this would have as much legs as it did. Because I mean, it was going on for days. Giannis injured. Jokic doesn't care about basketball at all. But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, Giannis, if this were the NBA Finals, Giannis is playing. To me, it's just like, is it technically the world champion? No. But, I'm not going to say you're wrong if the Denver Nuggets are calling themselves world champions. What the hell's going on in the NFL, man? The NFL's losing money, huh? Is the NFL losing money? They got players walking in full uniforms to practice, crossing the street in full uniforms. NFL's losing money. They can't even afford buses anymore. Wow, that league is fucked. There you have it. That league is doomed. Man, how the mighty have fallen. NBA, each of these guys would have individual private jets flying them into the stadium. For example, English Premier League is international players from all over the world play it. It's the best national league in the world right now. When a team wins, they are English Premier League champs. All right, football is different. Football is different because you have other top flight teams in other leagues, which is why you have the UEFA Champions League. Which, as I said earlier, if the winner of that, if they said, "Hey, we're world champs," I wouldn't give a shit. Sure, yeah. They're campaigning for more walkable cities. Oh, okay. I like that, actually. All right. I get this is a very American thing. And you guys know me. You guys know me. Well, hey, here you go. Hold on a second. Oh, the Mavericks are playing for the world champion. The Mavericks are playing for the world championship. There's actually a World Cup for clubs in soccer. From what I heard, though, that teams don't take it that seriously. The NBA today announced that the Dallas Mavericks will play a preseason game against reigning EuroLeague champion Real Madrid. October 10th? Wait. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's actually not good. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. That is... Wait, am I reading this correctly? Okay, never mind. That's what... When does the fucking season start? The 24th? Oh, my bad. I thought it started the 17th for some reason. It's only 15 days before the season starts. Anyways, the World Championship argument. think I really hope, I really do, that one day we get to a point where we could have like a global games type of thing, where like there are teams in other leagues that are legitimately competing with the NBA. It's gonna happen at some point, if the league keeps advancing like it has been and the talent pool keeps getting better, where like 30 NBA teams are soon to be 32. NBA teams are just not going to have enough space. There's not going to be enough roster space for all the talent in the world. So, you're going to have European teams and Asian teams and South American teams, African teams that put together really competitive rosters. I think that could be 20 or 30 years away. All it takes is one. Like, all it takes is one team. Like seriously, live basketball. Like, but honestly though, all it takes is one team in Europe or in Saudi Arabia or something to say, "Fuck it, man. You want to come play for us? Like they've been doing in football. You want to come play for us? We'll give you $200, $300, $400 million a year. Come play here." Aren't there other NBA leagues across the world? Like, don't they have NBA Africa or something? Yeah, there's international leagues, and I mean they're competitive. Like the Euro League is very competitive. They got good teams. Like, I'm not trying to say their teams are shit. They got good teams over there with good players. But obviously, compared to an NBA team, they'd get ran out of the gym. Yes, because it's semantics. But one of the best football club in the world are from Europe. We just don't say world champs. Well, that's kind of my point, where it's just like, okay, well, we all accept that this is the best team in the world. We all accept that they just competed against, in a tournament setting, they just competed against the other best teams in the world, and they came out on top. Would be cool if there was a yearly classic between the EuroLeague and NBA winners. I'm telling you, the NBA gave a shit at all about the All-Star weekend. It would be World versus USA. No, Luka playing, Mavericks playing Real Madrid's really cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool they're doing that. There has been some historical precedents with teams who play like overseas for their preseason games. There is like a historical precedence for. I wonder what this means for Fan Jam. Are they going to do a Fan Jam this year? MLS isn't shit compared to the EuroLeague. See, okay, this is where, like, if the MLS, if the MLS was calling their champions world champions, all right, you've stepped out of line. You've crossed the line. It's about respect to the sport in the world, something the USA doesn't seem to get. I just, all the best players in the world are in the league. Like, it's incredibly global. I don't know. Either way, I don't really care that much. I did watch the Slovenia game. Let's talk about it. Let's move on. Rough start for Slovenia. Did not shoot well as a team. Luka 5 of 17, 1 of 8 from 3. His 3-ball is interesting. He has not shot the 3-ball well at all in this tournament so far. But his shots look good. Like, Luka will have stretches throughout the season where his shot's not falling and he's in shooting slumps. And his shot looks terrible. Like, he'll be clanking it off the side of the rim. You know, it'll be barely grazing the front of the rim because it's so short. But his shots look fine. Like, they're in and out. They're rimming out. You know, they're back ironing. So, I'm not, like, overly worried about his shot, really. Did a good job on free throws. But I thought Luka played really good today. Played good defense, was locked in, played well off ball. Some great passes, some great playmaking. Prepelic. I like Prepelic, honestly. He's like a fun player to watch. So, yeah, we'll see. So, what's it like in the next round? If you lose one game, are you doomed pretty much? He said, I was watching your one-word reactions on Twitter and couldn't help but notice they are more than one word. Think of it as like a run-on sentence. Eddie Tavares defended well on switches. Yeah, Eddie Tavares played well. I mean, Cape Verde played really well. Like they did a good job staying connected. There was a couple of times with Luka defensively, and this is one of my biggest gripes with him defensively, actually, where he wouldn't find his guy on a shot, and he would give up a putback. He does this all the time. He doesn't find his man on missed shots, doesn't put a body on his man on missed shots, and he gives up putbacks. He does it a lot. It happens quite a bit. What you described as him being too strong now and shooting too hard. I don't even think that. I think he's actually been a little unlucky on his shots. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming games, whether it's against Australia or Germany, if he has like an 8 of 12 game from 3. Will Slovenia be exposed in the second round? I'm interested to see. I don't know if they'll be even favorites in any of the games. Have they like announced the times for those yet, by the way? Oh, they have. Nice. 7 a.m. start time for Australia and Slovenia. Thank God. I thought they were going to put them in the 3 a.m. slot. They're putting USA at the 3 a.m. slot. They're saying no, Slovenia's prime time. Canada's prime time. All right, this is where it gets really spicy here. This is where it gets spicy. Italy, Serbia. Serbia will crush them. Germany, Georgia. That's a fun game. Aren't the Prepelic is related to each other? Yeah, they're cousins, right? This is Friday, so 2 days from today. September 1st. In soccer, Europeans always win the team's World Cup, but they still have to show up and compete because sometimes they lose to South Americans. I would love to see the same in b-ball. Oh, dude, I would love to see the best players actually show up for their teams, for sure. I get why they don't. It's just tough because when you play an 82-game schedule and then you have a grueling postseason, which is damn near the same as a second season, like with how physical it gets, with how intense it gets, with how high stress the minutes are. I understand players just wanting to take a summer off. I want to see green guard Luka. If I had to guess, it'll be Thibault, just because he's bigger. But Josh Green's been amazing defensively so far. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic is fun. The Dominican Republic's look really good. Greece versus Lithuania. That's a fun one. Brazil and Canada. Latvia and Spain. That's spicy right there. USA versus Montenegro. How many NBA players have the USA played so far? Have they played any? No NBA players on Jordan. It would just be Thanasis and Papagiannis isn't even in the league, is he? Is he in the league still? Is Thanasis the only guy in Greece in the NBA right now? Or I really hope you're not gassing Josh Green being Australia's best defender. Oh, he's easily been their best defender. This tournament. Easily. I think part of that too is like especially like early on in these group stages, most of the teams you're going up against are going to have smaller guards. And like the international setting. So that bodes well for Josh Green compared to like Matisse Thybulle. Because you're not going up against a lot of like big wings who can handle the ball a bunch. Locked on Mavs pissed me off when he said Green might be better than getting Thybulle. I mean, I was cool with getting Thybulle, but it wasn't like make or break for me. There's a lot of people who don't like it. I'll tell you that much. And he's like really bad offensively, man. Like it's a lost cause. Like the stream, everyone. Yeah, if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. 110 of you in here, 30 likes. Pathetic. Yeah, Jovic had a great game today. Perfect from the field. What was he? 9 of 9 from the field? Dude, Serbia. Man, if Serbia were healthy in this tournament, they'd have a shot. 9 of 9, 5 of 5 from 3, 25 points. Jeez. They'd have a shot if Jokic were playing. If Poku were playing. Check out the brackets for the next round. It's not really brackets. It's you're in another group. ESPN's probably not the best place for this because it's a trash can-ass company. So you're going on to the next stage. Somebody else is going to have to do a better side of explaining it to me. A better job of explaining it to me because while I understand it, I can't explain it. Does that make sense? So the second round is it's you and the winner of your group move on to another group going up against the two winners of another group. So great stream, only shit on the NFL one so far. Yeah, true. Not very hateful today. Who is Sally Buy's second favorite NFL team? I don't have one. I hate all of them. So I guess technically they're all tied. They're all tied because I all hate them the most. Slovenia and Germany. So Slovenia will start against Australia. And you want to be top 2 in this group. And then you move on to... like the winner go home tournament. So it's basically the same thing. What is the FIBA efficiency stat? Yeah, you move on to the quarterfinals. So you haven't faced yet in round 2. Yeah. So Slovenia is going to be playing Germany and Australia. And if they win both, they're clear. If they win one, they're probably safe. But should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see if Slovenia would be favorites against Australia. I would guess no. Points plus rebound plus assist plus steal plus block minus missed field goal minus missed free throw minus turnover divided by games played. Oh, okay. Partha, 11 months of the slightly delusional club. Josh guarding Luka is prime time hoops for real. We will be there. Believe you me. And also, this is very important because you make it to the quarterfinals and you are qualified for the Olympics, right? So anyone who makes this bracket is guaranteed to be in the Olympics, correct? No? I thought that was... All 16 is in? All of these teams that made the Olympics? 2 teams from Europe? That can't be true. Only 2 teams from Europe? And does that count France already having an automatic bid? Okay, top 2 finishing year. Oh, okay. Now that you're saying that, I do remember reading that Australia has qualified for the Olympics because they finished the first in Oceania. So now that you're saying that, got it. So they got to finish ahead of Germany, España, Latvia, Italy, Serbia, Greece. Like, damn. How many non-European teams are in this? Australia, Brazil, Canada, USA. Are those the only non-Puerto Rico and Dominican? That's tough. But they'll still have a chance to qualify even if they don't finish top 2, right? These are big. These are big games, man. These are big games. This was a disgusting move. Disgusting move right there by Luka. Spin cycle. Oh. Oh. Up. Oh. Oh. I do want to talk about this. The 30 best players in the World Cup according to Hoops Hype's global rating. I don't know what goes into this. Luka has a 50. He was higher than this. Shay's at 37. Jovic at 30. Josh Hawkinson. He was cooking. Andres Feliz. Like, it's cool to see 2 of the top 5 guys are not NBA players. Like, that's honestly awesome to see. Prepelic. Austin Reeves was playing for the Lakers, bro. Would be flipping burgers? Dude, no, he wouldn't. Austin Reeves is good. Surprise Schroeder's at 8. Schroeder just feels like he dominates every time I've watched an international basketball game. Schroeder just dominates. Vooch has had a really good tournament too. Who do you want to win between Slovenia and Australia? I mean, I want Slovenia to win, but really as Babs fans, you can't lose. Any shot Luka only plays for one more contract and bounces back to Europe? No shot at all. I think ultimately Luka's a big-time competitor. And, I mean, you want to be at the highest. You want to compete at the highest level. No Americans in the top 20. If I had to guess, it's because they're all. You don't have like a go-to guy really on the United States roster. It's always very spread out. Who's on Spain? I mean, they got Willy Hernan Gomez, Juan Nunez, Garuba. They're always good. Spain is always good. They won the last one. And Europe doesn't offer $40 million a year. Oh, dude, by the time Luka gets his next contract, it's gonna be like $60 or $70 million a year. Would Austin Reeves be better than Alex Caruso? They're like completely different players. Like they're not even remotely comparable, I don't think. Yeah, that's true. Spain has Santi Aldama. I was watching that game earlier because Iran was giving him a little bit of a. Iran was giving him a little bit of a scare. Iran. What's that guy's name on Iran? Who's been there for like a million years? Alex Caruso is better. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think. I guess it would depend on what your team needs. Austin Reeves is an elite role player. He just wouldn't have the contract he has if he weren't never a Laker. No, I disagree with that too, man. NBA front offices are smart. Like everyone hyped up Caruso. He got what, like, how much is Caruso making? Isn't it like $6 million a year? Did you see they were comparing Reeves to Luka when Reeves is like 1 year older than Luka? No one serious is doing that. Is this his name right here? Amini? The guy who's like 45 years old? If Caruso is only getting $6 million a year, he was a bargain. Yeah, he didn't get that much money. It's not $6 million. Like 8. Let me see. Oh my God, Starfield comes out tomorrow night. Oh my God. I will be streaming that game on Twitch, by the way. I will. Yeah, $9 million a year for Caruso. And the best part about Starfield is I know nothing about the game. I have purposefully kept myself in the dark. I'm really proud. I'm really good at that. I'm good at that with movies. I'm good at that with video games, with TV shows. I keep myself in the dark. Sometimes I don't even know the plot. What's up, Sally? Life has been nuts, so I haven't really been here super active, but I would support you, my man. Thanks, Seven. That means a lot. Hope life becomes less nuts. You know what I always say when life gets nuts? I'm allergic to nuts. Absolutely no way Starfield's good at launch. That's the beauty of Bethesda games, though. That's part of the allure. That's part of the charm. No way it'll be as bad as No Man's Sky was at launch. I remember almost being reduced to tears whenever I first played that game because I was so hyped for it. Any other Luka highlights? I know he threw some insane passes.
Keep it for himself, Doncic. Immense rolling, Doncic.
And Bud! He got a tech for this.
Will keep it for himself.
The economics of the NBA is insane. $40 million a year for Dylan Brooks, only $9 million for Caruso. All right, Dylan Brooks is making $40 million a year, but I get your point. Oh, this was a crazy ass pass.
Kick out. The finish.
God, please more of that. Please more. Eric Lewis retired / fired. Yeah, I did see that. It's over for the Celtics. Yeah, it's over for the Celtics. Their guy on the inside is gone. Their guy on the inside has been whacked. It's over for them. The NBA says referee Eric Lewis has retired and it's closing its investigation into the social media activity. This was a wild storyline, honestly. I loved Diablo 4 for like 5 days and then got bored. Squiggly, I'll always appreciate you snagging me a copy of Diablo 4. And I did play it quite a bit. Brooks is on average making $45 million a year. Bro, Dylan Brooks is making $20 million a year. Tell the story, I don't know the context. See, I didn't actually like follow it that much, but Eric Lewis, his family on Twitter was like openly major Celtics fans. And I believe there was some like talk about a burner account or something. This is incredibly true. I'm this is just one of the things about officiating. Like, you're stupid if you don't think these guys have favorite teams or their family has favorite teams. What I can't comprehend is that Sally Bias plays games. I don't play a lot. I do not play a lot of games. This is why I'm so excited for Starfield, where it's like, finally, I can play like a video game that I'm actually legitimately like super excited for. It's been years. It's been years since I've been like actually pumped up. Right, misprint on the site. They had it at 4,180. I mean, if Dylan Brooks was making that much, that would be fucking nuts. All right, let's look at some of these clips. I don't plan on being live that long today. I want to go work out and stuff. Oh, God. Ugh. I'm having some back pain. Need to stretch. I've seen tiny clips of this. Mav's Twitter is in a tizzy about this, so let's see. Mark Cuban was recently on the Patrick Beverly podcast.
You made that trade.
Why?
The fit, I didn't know if it was going to fit.
Yeah.
Them together, they both.
Well, a lot of people
dominate.
don't think it, so when you look at last year, we had issues that had nothing to do with Kyrie or Luka playing together. When they played together, I was just reading some, they're like 900 possessions that they played together, and they were 60% net effective field goal rate plus 4 point whatever, top 5 combo in the league when they played together, just between injuries and everything. And we just didn't have a team that was committed to the roles, right? If like the year before when we went to the Western,
hate to say I told you so.
Conference Finals,
Y'all was fucking locked the fuck in, boy.
for sure, right?
You could
saw-
tell. Yeah.
Everybody knew their role. And
Everybody.
everybody just played their role perfectly.
Yeah.
This past year, that wasn't the case. And it wasn't Kyrie or Luka. They knew their roles, right? But once other guys start playing for themselves or not playing for the team,
Yeah.
every mistake that you can possibly have is just magnified to no end. So we made some changes.
Hate to say I told you so, but I did. But I did. Told you. I told you guys. I told you guys the whole fucking year. God. Ugh. Oh, God. Dude, can you let me live, please? Can you please let me live? Can you please let me live? Jesus. Cuban needs to shut his mouth. Take your L, move on. He's talking like he hasn't ignored the 5 for decades. The Christian Wood trade doesn't make much sense in hindsight. I got it at the time, right? It made perfect sense at the time, actually, because you were just, you were taking a stab at a very talented player who clearly is talented. Nobody's denying that. And you really didn't give up much of anything. You gave up a couple one first round pick, which the reports were at the time you were trying to get rid of it anyways. You didn't really want to pick there. And a bunch of contracts you were going to dump regardless. But they had no plan for him. They clearly didn't really want him. Because I even remember, you guys remember this? There was like reports of like, yeah, Christian Wood might not even be on the team. Like they trade, like they're kind of like actively shopping Christian Wood right now. You guys remember that? Like right after the trade? Strange. Just strange. just felt like they were on completely different pages. Like Nico Harrison and the front office were on some like 2K trade finder shit where they're like, yeah, cool, let's do this. And Kid was like, dude, I don't want that guy. Either way, this really isn't that surprising, to be honest with you. Like, the Christian Wood stuff was just so incredibly weird. Any other clips? Dallas Mavericks 2K24 ratings officially leaked. Damn, they got Grant Williams as a 76? Any other clips from this podcast? The only other clip I saw, which admittedly I didn't really love, just because, dude, you're the owner, why are you saying this shit? Is Cuban was basically like, yeah, man, Kyrie knows this is Luka's team. I don't like that. That's just weird. You don't need to say that. But also he was saying stuff how like Kyrie knows it's hard to make the it's hard to make the Hall of Fame when you play for 6 teams or whatever. Like, dude. That is so hilarious. So hilariously, oh, here's the clip. This is the one that had people in a tizzy.
The fit, I didn't know if it was gonna fit. Yeah.
Like when you're on the outside looking at somebody like Kai, right? I didn't know him at all. And I just read the same stuff. And you see a dude bounce from team to team to team, you get some perceptions, right? This is your perception of him. But then I started talking to people before we did the deal. Everybody loved him. And Luke was like, we need somebody else. And he's like, you know, when you talk to people, people love Kai. And you watch after a game, yeah, guys will trade jerseys, this and that. People will just walk up and hug Kyrie, right? Not just like,
this is what I've been saying.
Yeah, thanks. You know, it's like,
that's his guy.
Right? Yeah. And we'll spend time and talk. And now that I've got to know Kai a lot better, that's who he is, right? Kyrie wants to think about things. Kyrie wants to, you know, connect to people and connect to his history and know who he is. And, you know, he wants to just take it to the next level personally. But he recognizes that this is his game right here, right? Because if he gets bounced again, you know, that's like, can you be a Hall of Famer when you've bounced to 5 teams, even though you've got Hall of Fame
People
talent.
start writing the narrative about you.
Right, and they already have.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. You guys know that I don't go to bat for Cuban very often, but when he said it didn't sound as bad. Honestly, when he says it, it doesn't sound as bad. Like what he's saying makes sense. He's mainly talking about the perception around him. So actually, you know what? I'll give him a pass here. I will actually give him a pass. I thought that was gonna sound way worse. You know what's actually funny? I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, I think. Mark Cuban got a ton of shit. Now, Mark Cuban, here's the thing, right? As the owner of a basketball team, there's just certain stuff you shouldn't say. You know, like, there's just comments that people might agree with you, right? People might agree with what you're saying, but you really shouldn't do it. The hoodie comment was absolutely fucking nuts. That one was nuts. It does sound bad because Kyrie should be a surefire Hall of Famer. No, for sure. But I don't even think, from the way I interpreted that quote from Cuban, he's saying like the way people will view him. Not saying that Cuban's not like, yeah, I don't think he should be a Hall of Famer if he bounces from this team. He's saying like the way people will view him, which he already stated earlier was people view him very unfairly. So I think he was just building on that. Like, I don't really want to go to bat for him or anything like that, but. So this is hilarious. This was in 2018. Mark Cuban, this is a dumb thing for an owner to say, to be fair. Like, an owner should not be saying this. He basically said that AAU is terrible in the way that, like, Europe develops young talent and stuff is way better. It's funny because fast forward 5-6 years, everyone would agree with this unanimously. Like, AAU culture has gotten so bad that everyone would agree with this. Like, no one would even bat an eye at this. But at the time, this was insane. This caused a gigantic shitstorm. It's funny because I yesterday when I was talking about this, I read this exact article. I read through it, and it's hilarious looking back on now. Hilarious. Because pretty much everyone's in unanimous agreement that AAU is a fucking joke. It is really sort of stunting and could be like a hindrance towards players' development. Feels like everyone hates on it. Yeah. And it's more so like... It's more so just like legitimately being concerned about the kids more than it is like just shitting on it for the sake of shitting on it or dunking on it. Like, it's like if we want to develop young talent the best we possibly can, it cannot be done the way it's done in AAU. It just can't. You can't be playing 4 games, 5, 6 games a weekend. You know, kids bouncing from team to team once a month. Learning zero system, learning, you know, nothing about team basketball. It's horrible. And college is not very good either. I'll say that. The talent farm of Real Madrid and Barcelona copied on soccer's top-notch development. Yeah, I don't know if America will ever have youth academies and stuff the way that Europe does. I don't know if that'll ever be a thing. AAU gets you Jalen Green. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Like, AAU is the United States still produces a ton of NBA talent all the time, and AAU kids have become great. But it is still... They just learn how to play basketball while our guys learn how to dunk and put together mixtapes. Who are you talking about, Mark? This article is hilarious because it's so snarky. I hate this style of writing, by the way. Like, it probably sounds better in a video form or a podcast or something like that, but this style of writing has always just been so eye-roll inducing to me. Cuban instead decided to insult the majority of NBA players. That's not even what he was doing. Like, saying AAU is bad and it's bad for development is not saying our NBA players suck. High-level basketball, like the starting so young, probably contributes to injuries. Well, that's true, by the way, across all sports. Like, travel baseball, it was nuts whenever I was playing it, and that was... I'm not going to say how long ago that was. That was a long time ago. It's even more nuts now. It's even more nuts now with how many games kids are playing. Pitchers, just... When you're young and you're growing and your body is growing, you're not supposed to be putting that much fucking pressure on it all the time, right? You're supposed to play once or twice a week. Once or twice a week, you practice, you train, right? But games in high stress situations, putting that much pressure on your body to begin with is bad, but especially a developing body. It's bad. 20, 25 years ago, for sure, fuck you. Do you think NBA teams will ever get involved in youth development? I think that would be awesome. I don't know. It's really not. That's really not a United States thing. You know what I mean? There would have to be like a cultural shift. A pretty extreme one. I miss pitching a lot. I mean, whenever I was young, dude, like, I knew kids who were 13, 14 years old getting Tommy John. Like, that's nuts. That's actually insane. Pitching as it stands is so obviously not in line with how our bodies work as a species. Just playing, like, sports in general, especially now, it's so fast. Players are so athletic. Human bodies are just really not supposed to be doing some of the shit we're doing. Pitching, though, definitely. Just the motion and everything, just very unnatural. I feel like this is why you see more like ACL injuries, more Achilles injuries now. It's just because like we're just doing stuff our bodies were never intended to do. Peak of my pitching career was a perfect game. To be fair, it was only like 7 innings, if I remember. The other team was terrible. I was never a very good pitcher. But that wouldn't stop. I mean, when you play summer ball and you're playing fucking 30 games a week, it feels like you're gonna pitch. Everyone's gonna pitch at some point. But playing with other talented 13-year-olds would be better than playing local high school teams now. Okay, so I actually don't think high school sports are bad. Like, high school sports are good. And it goes back to what I was saying. You only play a couple games a week. And usually, if you're in, like, so the area I grew up in, I don't want to go too personal because I don't like sharing some of these details. The area I grew up in, incredibly competitive district. Like, incredibly competitive. I played baseball against a very wealthy and a number one draft pick in the NFL. I'll just say that. Like, that's good. I think that's good for your development. Playing 5 games a day is terrible. That shit is horrible. Also, high-level youth athletes now usually specialize a specific sport position. It just adds to the wear and tear. That's very true, too. There's definitely something to playing at multiple sports, I think. But the thing is if you're a basketball player, though, if you're a basketball player and you're taller than everyone in your class, in your school, like, you're gonna play basketball. Like, let's not be fucking stupid. Wait, with Tommy John surgery, can it happen multiple times, or is it a one-time thing? No, you can get I think you can get, like. So from what I understand, a third Tommy John is basically you're done. But I guess you could technically get unlimited Tommy Johns. I don't think people can definitely get 2 Tommy Johns. Like Nathan Eovaldi on the Rangers has had 2 Tommy Johns, and that's why, like, he's kind of injured right now, and everyone's saying if he gets a third one, it's over. And yes, in some cases, it does make your arm stronger because you're, like, reinforcing the tendon or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know how we got off on this tangent. Youth sports just makes me sad. I played all sports growing up because my parents made me. I fucking hated football. Did not play it long. But it's good to play multiple sports. I think most people do, but at a certain time, though, if you're like somewhat good at a sport, like, at a certain point you kind of have to pick. Just because playing in a competitive, like, travel league is very expensive. So for your parents, like, do they really want to pay for multiple of those? No, not really. If you want to get a leg up on the other kids, you need to be doing training. You need a private trainer. It's fucking nuts. Making 8-year-olds play contact football is kind of nuts. Happened for me too. See, okay, I was fortunate. My parents did not allow me to do that. My first year playing football was 7th grade on my middle school team, and it sucked, and I was terrible, and I hated it. My team was horrific. I was a quarterback. I had people who were, I mean, this was when we were 12 years old, people who were 4 foot something playing line, and I was just getting obliterated every single time. It was horrible. Don't let this motherfucker, like, he's hated football since conception. Go look at his lives. He has a live video from 2021 Cowboys versus Vikings. No, man. Like, I hated playing football. I used to love the NFL. I don't hide that. I used to love the NFL for sure. I don't anymore. It was a rough breakup too. It was quick. You know, my first year of football was middle school too, for the same reason. They made us play football if we were in athletics. We didn't have to play football, but if you didn't, you had to do orchestra. It was something like that. Like, you either had to be in a band or you had to be playing football. So it was like pretty much everyone played football. My middle school football team, we had 1 win in 2 years because our quarterback was like 5-1. The coach played favorites despite the fact they sucked. I don't think we won a single game in my middle school career. 2 years of being quarterback, I don't think we won once. The closest we got to winning was I was on B team. Like I'm not gonna try to hide it. I sucked. The closest we got to winning was the A team running back got suspended for something and played a game with B team and scored I think 7 rushing touchdowns in one game and we still lost. I remember you going live after the Cowboys 2021 opener versus the Bucks, and you were violently going after the refs. Oh, that was some bullshit. But that's why I hate. That's why I've actually turned on the NFL a little bit. People say officiating in the NBA is bad, and it can be bad, dude. NFL entire games can be completely null and void because the dumbass refs throw a pass interference flag, and it's a 45-yard penalty. Like that's the dumbest shit in sports. A team, all right, here we go. Oh, my God. Can the defense step up? They just need to get in field goal range. Just throw that bitch downfield. Oh, my God, a horrible pass interference call. It's a 60-yard penalty, and now they're kicking a field goal. Horrible. The last 2 Super Bowls have been lost on holding penalties on the defense. What a fucking snooze. What a snooze fest. If you hate NBA refs, watch one half of a college basketball game. Oh, I agree. College basketball can be a brutal watch sometimes. I pretty much only watch it during March Madness. And even then, once like the first couple rounds are done, I'm pretty much out. It can be fun to watch sometimes, don't get me wrong, but it really is the it's not even like the basketball on display in college basketball that I don't like. It's officiating, which is terrible, like you said. And it's the end of games are so bad. Teams have like 4 timeouts in the final minute. They need to get rid of that shit. They need to get rid of that. They say like the final 60 seconds in an NBA game is bad, and it can be bad. A college basketball game, oh my God. The last minute or 2 is just excruciatingly slow. Is soccer popular in U.S. schools? So it's probably different, but at least in the area I grew up in, I don't even think they had like organized soccer teams. I think it was club teams. I could be wrong though. No, that's not true. There was like a school, like an official school soccer team. I wouldn't say it was big though. What if like most rules are thrown out the window for the last couple of minutes in the NBA and NFL? NFL, you can't do that because everyone will just be tackling wide receivers. NBA, they just need to pick up the pace. Like, get rid of a timeout. Like, make the timeout actually only be 30 seconds or something like that. You know, like, we don't need to go to commercial break for 2.5 minutes. Like, let's just 30 seconds, boom. We're staying with the broadcast. We're not going anywhere. What up, KS? College sports is all about the 65-year-old head coaches, too. Yeah, college sports just feel gross to me. There's just something about college sports. I've never been a big college sports fan at all. So B-Dot's been, like, pulling receipts on me being an NFL guy. I have actually never liked college sports. I remember March Madness in high school was such a treat for us. Everyone had the games pulled up on their phones in class. Yeah, that's always a magical day. It really is. The first 2 days of March Madness are probably the best days in sports, I think. It's up there at least. Because it is. It's just so... And the games are usually nuts, too. I'd watch college sports if I had a team to root for. It's like, I went to a big college. I went to Texas Tech. They're competitive in most sports. Their football team's supposed to be really good this year. Their basketball team has been historically... They're not as good as they used to be, but they've historically been pretty good. And I don't know, man. Ever since I graduated, just something. I can't get there. I think it's what B-Dot just said. It's something about rooting for and getting pissed off at like 18 and 19-year-olds. Like, it just feels kind of weird and strange to me. Like, it's one thing to root for your school and stuff, but whenever you start getting mad and start, like, getting pissed off at 18-year-old kids, that's when it starts to get a little strange. Oh, with the $5. March Madness is a construct of the big chicken wing industrial complex. Hey, I love me a chicken wing. My favorite type of food. So, more power to them. And there, by the way, there is a difference between 18-year-old college kids and 18-year-old professional athletes, by the way. Big difference, in my opinion, at least. That might sound stupid. I'm an OU fan. They sucked at football and basketball recently, so I have not been watching for the past half decade. Weren't they just in the playoff, in the college football playoff not too long ago? It's difficult for me to follow recruiting. Following people 10 years younger than me is odd. It is strange. I can't believe that 18-year-old true freshman didn't play perfect for 3 hours straight while playing against 26-year-old super seniors. It's all, I can't. I don't have any school spirit. I try to, I do try to. If I have nothing else going on and I'm like, Texas Tech basketball's playing tonight, I'll watch. It's just so weird to me. I don't feel anything. Colton, 13 months. Damn. In the slightly delusional club, Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop. Oh my God. Wingstop. It's not even remotely close. If Buffalo Wild Wings ceased to exist tomorrow, my life would remain exactly the same. Same with, I like Wingstop. Truth be told, though, I've said this before, and I hate when people say this because it's cringy, whatever. I like the wings I make, I like them better than any other place. So it's just, I haven't ate buffalo wings out in a very long time. Have you been to an East Coast Wings? No, and I haven't even heard of it. I love wings, though. My family went to Texas, but I am very casual Texas fan. I watch most of the games, but I'm not really into it. Yeah, growing up, my family... I didn't have a single family member go to UT, but my family was big UT fans, so... I tried chili wings and they made me sick. Do not disrespect Chili's. Do not disrespect Chili's in this chat. Ever had Wing Street? I have had Wing Street, actually. Part of the problem of eating wings from restaurants is they're so expensive. They are so expensive now. It just makes more sense to buy your own wings. They don't take long to make at all. They're very easy to make, especially if you have an air fryer. Just throw them shits in the air fryer for 15 minutes. Lemon pepper wet? I do like lemon pepper. Sometimes on my wings, I'll put a lemon pepper seasoning on them. I'll put a lemon pepper seasoning on them, and then after they're done cooking, put Frank's Hot on them. Woo. Chili's chips and queso is fantastic. They do have great queso. Chili's is just a great restaurant. Just through and through. A great restaurant. Any real barbecue place will have better wings than these chain places? Yeah. Steak houses and barbecue places. Steak houses and barbecue places will have pretty good wings typically. God, we need sports to ramp up. We need sports. We need sports badly. Back in a real way. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to talk about the World Cup. The only problem is not a lot of these games have been close yet. The next round of games should be really interesting. You could talk about another ghoul in the government freezing up. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Mitch McConnell froze up again. Oh my God, these fucking people, man. It's actually hilarious. Once you've just been beaten to the ground enough, and you're black pilled enough, where it just doesn't even register anymore. It just bounces right off you. It really does become like a comedy almost. If you get wings at a steakhouse, the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, you want to know something? Sometimes at Outback, I just get an order of wings. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know Cat was the minute. Can he balling out though? Yeah, Cat's been playing great. I want this to be a wake-up call. Joel Embiid, go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding. That's really harsh. Joel Embiid, wake up, man. Why are you going to France? They're not going to love you there. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesar, Papa John's. Domino's is clearly the best. I'd rather shoot myself in the mouth than eat any of those places, to be honest with you. I ate so much chain, like fast food, chain style pizza in college and stuff. It all just sounds so disgusting. Zolot is the go-to. What determines eligibility for national team citizenship? I don't think there's any. Is there like any actual rules? You get one nationalized player, and I don't think there's any real rules. Everyone knows slightly by his favorite pizza place is Cece's. I'm a little bit ashamed to admit that I had a very. This was like a year ago. I just had the strangest craving for Cece's, and I went to a Cece's around lunchtime by myself and ate at the buffet. And I got home, looked at myself in the mirror for a good solid 5 to 6 minutes, and just did this. Just did this right here. No words were said. Went about my day, and that was that. So Luka could technically play for a team like Spain if you really wanted. Yeah. From what I understand is FIBA will step in. Like, you can't just nationalize the United States. So I don't understand. Like, I guess FIBA would be cool with Embiid going to Team USA. I don't understand how that works. But for the most part, like, FIBA will not let players who have already played on other national teams leave and go to the United States. But pretty much any other country, they don't care really. So I could step in and play for Slovakia? Yeah, if you wanted to. If you're good enough. Yes, because he lived in Spain for years. I don't even think it matters though. Like, what is Mike Tobey's relation to Slovenia exactly? Surprised players aren't bribed to play for other national teams. Well, I do think a lot of these guys do have, especially, European guys, from what I can tell, definitely have like a pretty serious, there's a lot of pride that goes into playing for your country and stuff like that. It was, honest to God, I still like KP. It didn't work out here. I had nothing against the guy. He was a consummate professional, right? But it was pretty awesome to see that Latvia game against France, like how hype he was. Like that was a cool moment, legitimately. Peace out, Colton. If Luke had to choose between playing for the Mavs or Slovenia, I don't know what he would choose. It's hard for me to imagine a world where a team offers you $250 million plus, and that's not the team you're going. That's not the direction you're headed in. But I'm pretty sure he's already like the third richest person in Slovenian history or something like that. What's y'all's fave position? Small ball, 5. My girlfriend didn't know basketball, but now knows enough that she calls Rudy Gobert "la bitch" when she sees him. That's pretty funny. Luka would pick the national team. You guys realize what you're saying? Like, the end goal for pretty much every basketball player in the world is to be in the NBA. Luka's good enough that by the time he's eligible for a new contract, it will be the most expensive contract in the history of the sport. Maybe in the history of team sports, period. American team sports, at least, because they're throwing out some crazy-ass contracts in football. All right, chat's gone off the rails. I'm done. Relatively short stream. I don't know. There's nothing to talk about, really. Not much to talk about. Would he have signed with the Mavs if they forbid his international play? Yeah. I think so, man. Now, if you were a free agent and a team was like, hey, we'll let you go play in Slovenia all you want, that probably would have a factor. If I had to guess, but. You comment on the world champion controversy for the NBA? Yes, we spent probably the first 20 or so minutes of the stream debating that. It's a hilarious topic. I just never in a million years would I have thought that that would have been such a big topic of conversation. You know what I mean? Like, never in a million years would I have thought that so many people cared one way or another about it. Streets need the Dame trade to drop. It's so dry right now. The Donovan Mitchell trade last year happened in September. So we could still see some shit go down for sure. I'm pretty sure Dropping Dimes 20 came back out of darkness to talk about to say, who was it? DeAndre Ayton to the Blazers or something like that. Am I misremembering? Anyways, thank you guys for coming out. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Shorter stream, not a lot to talk about today. I would like to post a video tomorrow, but admittedly, I don't. I'm like really trying to, because all of the preseason stuff for the NBA, I'm waiting for, obviously. And I don't want to blow my load on like good video ideas in the middle of the offseason where not as many people are actively checking for stuff. So we'll see. I'm going to try, but I no promises really. But I will be live again on Friday. Trying to figure out not streaming the game on this channel. If playback, if you can watch ESPN Plus stuff on playback, I'll probably go live over there. So just check my Twitter, check the Discord, whatever. I'll keep you guys updated. But I'll go live around this time after the game. And follow me on Twitch. Twitch, The Slightly Biased Show. What the fuck is playback? I was on it whenever I was dealing with the copyright problems on this channel during the playoffs when I got an actual copyright strike. We streamed on playback on NBA University's playback. It's actually pretty dope. If you have like, so like if you had an ESPN Plus subscription, you could plug in your login information over there, and we would like watch the game together essentially. But we'll see. I don't even know if that's possible on playback right now. So either way, also Starfield comes out tomorrow night. There's a chance I go live on Twitch tomorrow night for Starfield. Twitch.com. I don't know. I don't know how the Twitch thing works. But the Slightly Biased Show. The Slightly Biased Show, I'm pretty sure, is my Twitch information. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, thank you guys. Content's about to ramp up majorly. You guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I will talk to you all possibly tomorrow night on Twitch with Starfield. Definitely talk to you guys on Friday. Love you guys. Bye.